Okay, so what is a trend reversal? Now, a typical definition of a trend reversal is a change in the trend direction of the market in a specific time frame being analyzed. Time frame being obviously a subjective interpretation, whether you look in the 1 minute or the daily, but obviously the larger the time frame, the more observable that can be seen. Now, what we also be looking at is the price ladder pattern observations can give a dynamic real-time ability to determine when a trend is exhausting yourself or having a rest before the charts provide us with this information. So really rather important, at the climax of a trend or the absolute trough of a trend, when that final turning point happens, what does it look like on the price ladder at that turning point? What are the subtle clues? What is the auctioning environment like at those turning points? And then what type of trading strategy do you deploy in those areas? So when the market is quiet and lethargic and losing any type of initiative activity, what happens when the market starts turning over and then the positions start unraveling the other end? Or when you have a crescendo of a move, what does that look like? What are the price ladder patterns do you see? Do you see a complete blip, a couple of low volume nodes, a bit of distribution happening on the ladder, a couple of large orders coming into the market? What does that look like? And we're going to be looking at a couple of videos on of identifying that and then really supplying the live trading drill practice to consolidate that learning. Next, it's a change, as we've mentioned, it's a change in the price personality, with personality being defined by the following characteristics. The auctioning speed. What is the auctioning speed? Has that changed as the market has moved to that territory? What is the order type initiation? Is it large orders or just very passive orders going through the market, really slow orders going to the market relative to how the market shifted in that direction? So really important considerations. What's the market velocity? Remember, market velocity being defined, how many lots affecting the speed of the market, how many lots per second or how many lots per minute. If it's going now at 5 lots per second as opposed to an hour ago it was going at 105 lots per second, well, now we know that the market is just losing interest. So any type of momentum type plays that you want to be aiming towards at critical levels for the upside start becoming null and void because the market velocity has slowed down. And generally speaking, at a lot of turning points, if it's not a crescendo move, the market velocity does slow down before it shifts the other way, or unless there's a big absorption pattern. Need to understand the time frame you're operating in order to know how to deploy the correct strategy, and that's important. I mean, you could have a big daily level and the market comes in a test that daily level, and as it approaches that daily level, it approaches with a lot of speed towards it, but just as it gets within 20 ticks it starts slowing down. You see a big sellers opening up, but before that daily level you had a 60-minute flag 30 ticks below, and you're buying into that momentum move, but it's not ready to break on the daily charts. So knowing which time frame you're operating in is very critical on the reversal patterns, because if you're looking for a reversal on a multi-day chart, that could take a couple of days, whereas you might just at those levels look for hourly plays, for hourly scalps as you see the market losing its momentum. And then also figuring out what type of trading strategy you're going to deploy. You're going to be looking at rapid scalping versus positioning. So once you observe an area that you see that the market is now slowing down or unable to penetrate higher, are you going to look to build a core position, or are you going to work yourself, if you've noticed an absorption type pattern, are you going to work with the absorber like we discussed in our absorption videos? Do you just position yourself so that if the market has come all the way down and all of it come down aggressively and then found the zone where it's losing activity, the market velocity is slowing down, but you see someone just sitting on the bid, reloads, do you sit in there with the buyer and you keep on buying with the buyer until he disappears, and you scalp in that direction and whilst building a core position? So there's multiple little strategies to trade around, and those strategies, we're not going to be doing videos on those plays in this module because we already discussed those absorption plays. So you utilizing those same absorption plays we just discussed in the absorption section at trend reversal points, because the purpose of this section is to look at one specific type of reversal play, and that's the crescendo move, the blowout reversal play, as opposed to other reversal plays being predominantly the absorption or distribution type plays. Absorption being predominantly on the buy side, distribution on the sell side as the market turns over. And then really, it is unbelievable how the price ladder gives an early indication of a trend reversal that is not observant on any of the charts. You know, you could have a key level and the market is moving towards that level, and that's your buy level as per your chart. But if the market is moving towards that level with great velocity, you don't want to be picking a bottom, because that market could still shift down another 60 ticks below through your stop. So you can see on the ladder if it's the right time to buy or not, because as the market approaches that level and it's approaching with great velocity, don't have a silly, undynamic long entry there. Rather wait for the market to penetrate that level and see what's below. And as the market really, you know, starts crescendoing through that level, and then all of it stops below its positions, and then you see an absorption coming through on the ladder, then that's the right time to buy. And as they always say, it's easy to spot a level, but how do you trade the level? And that's what the price ladder gives you, that unique advantage once you really learn consistently how to identify, in this instance, certain type of trend reversal price ladder plays.